Okay, welcome to the webinar, Monday.com, an engine for enterprise. So I am Damien Edwards, the commercial manager here at Interface. We are Monday.com Gold partners. We have offices in the UK, the US, and Hong Kong. And we have transformed the way hundreds of businesses operate with a simple mantra. We design simple to use, connected systems that allow organizations to operate with more speed, and we provide complete visibility that allows organizations to control their processes and measure their performance. So we work with clients including KPMG, HS2, and the Commonwealth, and we're able to provide you with a consultation and a demo of the Monday.com system. So just quickly about our support packages. Those are our support packages that we provide for Monday.com users. They include a dedicated customer success manager, an account manager, a block of training and support, and a block of training and setup, and a support contract. So you get an ongoing support contract. So you get the single point of contact that is there to help you with the setup and the training, and also the same person that you're able to contact with any questions on an ongoing basis. So please contact us if you are evaluating Monday.com and require a demo, or if you are an existing customer and like some help setting up and getting the maximum out of the system. With me today, I have our senior sales engineer, Sam Connor.
Hi there, guys. Yeah, I'm Sam Connor, so I'm part of the sales engineer team. So if you have any questions about the Monday.com software, I'll be able to help you with those. So please do add your questions into the question box and we can answer those during today's webinar. And if you are currently evaluating Monday.com, I'll be happy to set up a meeting with you to discuss your requirements in more detail, and we can help you build out a bespoke demonstration of the Monday.com platform to help you with your evaluation.
Okay, bit about Monday.com itself. So businesses commonly implement tools that are built around a single topic and not around teamwork. And this can create disconnection, double work, and a lack of visibility. Teams try to overcome this by syncing through long hours of video conference meetings, emails, and follow-up calls. They use Excel and produce endless reports, and they're constantly trying to realign and chase each other on deadlines. The results cost businesses time, money, and missed opportunities. And in addition, employees can feel disconnected and frustrated. Companies need a way to turn operational complexity into an easy and efficient workflow available for the entire organization. This is the only way to keep up to speed with an already competitive environment. Monday.com is a customizable work operating system where teams create and shape workflows to plan, run, and track their operations. It is a cloud-based platform that uses a building block structure, which means you can create systems and processes exactly the way that you need them. Monday is trusted by over 150,000 businesses worldwide and some of the best known brands in the world. So what will we show you today? We're going to have a look at some use cases, how Monday can manage really all areas of your business, from sales and marketing to operations, HR, and customer support. Integrations, how Monday can integrate with all your existing tools and systems to become your single operating system, and how Monday has the permissions, security, and compliance features that are essential to all types of businesses. So let's jump into our Monday system, and Sam will just talk us through. some of the use cases within Monday. Monday has 4 flagship products, solutions available. We'll talk through each of those. In addition to these 4 products, there are hundreds of pre-built templates that you can apply to your Monday account. I'll pass you on to Sam.
Thanks, Damien. So first of all, then we'll look at the Monday Marketer product. So the Monday Marketer product provides an all-in-one solution, essentially to manage your marketing and creative processes, all while ensuring you have full collaboration along with the team and also your external clients who you may want to invite into your marketer product to actually see and update where they're at with the marketing campaigns. And within the Monday Marketer product, what you'll find are specific boards. So you'll see there on the left-hand side, we have the marketing plan, content calendar, creative requests, and marketing overview. So I think first of all, what we'll do is if we just go into the marketing plan board, because this is first and foremost where we can start to develop our high-level management views of our marketing initiatives. So inside here, you can see the boards are broken down by quarters. So we can see Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So we have that very high-level view. So this is really perfect for your leadership teams to define high-level goals. You can plan the budgets for all of those goals, and then we can set metrics to measure and evaluate how we're working towards those goals at this high-level view. And using this board for the management, it's really easy to then integrate your different campaigns. So if we just scroll through here, you can see the different campaigns that are related to each of those initiatives. So you can see how we can easily connect every single campaign we're working on across the marketing department into those high-level goals. So we can already start to see how we can connect every area of the marketing team into these high-level goals. And using this board is really useful because we also have at the top, we can see the Gantt chart view. So again, we can dissect the information from the board in lots of different ways. So we get to see a clear, organized view of all of the timelines for the marketing initiatives that we're working on. And crucially, we can see the deadlines that we need to meet. Okay, so that's that high-level marketing plan view. And then further down, we also have the content calendar board. And this board is really useful for kind of visualizing and planning out all of those individual lower level campaigns that we need to work on. So we can track all the content pieces that are being launched across the different campaigns. And within this view as well, it's fully interactive, so we can see everyone's activities inside the calendar view. Okay, so and then we can see inside the actual groups there. That's a really nice view. So what we can do inside there is we can see the draft campaigns, what's currently live, what's being worked on, and then we can also see what's already been completed. So again, you have that complete oversight of where each campaign is at inside the campaign creation content. And then, of course, those are the current campaigns that are being worked on, but we also need to be able to submit new creative requests. So this is now where the creative request board can come into action. So you can see how all of these different boards, from a very high level to the low level to the individual request, are completely connected. So within the creative request board, we have the form. So this is a really useful tool to capture new requests. So inside here, we can submit the form to all of the teams, or it could be to our clients who need to submit a new request. And then we can capture every single piece of information that we need to have for the team to work on that new request inside the boards. And then we can collaborate with our clients if we invite them into the board to work on those new creative requests. So that's creating that new request, capturing that information. But then what we also want to be able to do is analyze all of the data from across the contents that are being worked on, the new requests. So we also have the marketing overview board. So inside here, we're able to really, I'd say the most critical aspect here, we can manage all of the marketing budgets that we have. So inside here, we can measure the progress of all of our campaigns. We're able to see in lots of different graphical displays, the analysis of how much we're spending on those campaigns against our budget. We can see and track our goals on the return of investments. So we can see all of these different reports that we can create using the widgets, and we can click into any of the graphs as well to drill down into any of the data. So we can see that very deep, rich analysis of all of the marketing departments, tracking and goals across the department. So that's a look there at the Monday Marketer product. So for marketing teams, this is a really useful high-level product, but we can then drill down into the low-level campaign requests and track and analyze all of our spend across the department. Okay, so that's a look at the Monday Marketer. I think now what we can do is go into the CRM to analyze our sales activities as well. So if we start off inside, let's go into leads. So first and foremost, leads are critical to be captured inside our CRM system. So we can capture leads in lots of different ways. So we can manually add our leads, or we could also use a form to capture the information for our leads. So we have a form again. So you can see how versatile the products are within Monday.com. We can capture leads using a form. So this form could be embedded onto your website, for example, and we can then automatically capture that information inside our Monday board. And this is now where we start to add additional functionality. So we could create an automation, for example. So as soon as that lead comes in, we could send a notification to the sales manager to notify them about that new lead being added to the system. And we can receive notifications directly on Monday, or we could have the Monday mobile app. We could receive a push notification to our mobile device. So you can start to see how you can keep up to date with all of the leads that are coming into the system here. And so what we can do, we have different statuses for actually analyzing our leads. So we can follow up, we can see we've contacted the lead. So you're able to quickly analyze and see what stage each lead is at inside the system. And once we've spoken to them and they're qualified, we can click the move to contacts. And that will then automatically submit the contact into the contact database. So we can then see that record inside the contacts. So you don't need to go and copy and paste that information across. Monday does all the hard work for you. So in here, we can now see all of our contacts in the system. And we can see the company, the accounts, and the opportunities. So we can see all of the deals they're connected with. And that view there that Damien's showing is a really good view, because you can then drill down into those deals at one click. You don't need to go into any other area. We have all of the information, and we can update the actual deal itself directly inside the card there. So everything can be interconnected. So that's looking at our contacts. We can see all of the opportunities they're connected with. So I think it's important now if we go into the deals board itself, because inside here now we can analyze all of the deals that we're working on. So inside our deals view, we can see active and closed deals. And I think the best way to view deals here, if we talk about different views we have within the CRM products, if we go to the Kanban view, this is a really nice way to actually analyze all of the deals across the different stages that we're working on. And this view is really powerful, because what we can do is we can customize actually what information we would like to show inside here. So within the settings, we can customize the actual pieces of information we want to show inside the Kanban view. So it may be you want to show the owner, and maybe and close the deal length. So the views you construct within the CRM product are completely customizable to what you would want to show inside your CRM system. So it's completely flexible for how you would want to work. And then if we go in to look at our forecasts, we can now start to evaluate actually how much revenue we're forecasting within the future months. So if we're needing to actually kind of forecast revenue for maybe budgeting purposes for forecasting, can we grow our teams? We can analyze with quick, rich reports here on all of the deals that we're currently working on inside the system here. And what we can do is with the automations is when we're moving deals, we can do this automatically. So if we moved a deal from, let's say, into the 1 stage, we can then automatically have that deal changed over to the 1 group. So we can move deals around so they're in the right place at the right time, just like so using the automations tool. Okay, so that's a look there at deals, and as we've seen, those deals and opportunities can automatically connect with your contacts in the system. And then we can also, if we go to the sales dashboard, we can analyze all of the data across our leads and deals. So here we can see all of the deals that we've won. We can set goals. So monthly goals are really important for tracking and analyzing how well we're reaching our targets. And within here, we can then also create our own dashboards using the widget tool as well. So that's a complete look here at how we can create reports. So here we may want to create a chart, for example, to track some new metrics. So you can see the different types of widgets that we can add to our reporting dashboards. And then we can start to customize the settings of the report. So essentially, every report that you add into the CRM product is customized to exactly what you would want to see. It's flexible and intuitive to your way of working. Okay, so that's a look at the Monday CRM product. And now let's take a look at Monday projects. Okay, so inside Monday projects, let's go into our boards. So yeah, fantastic. So inside Monday projects, we're able to completely analyze all of the projects we're working on. So it's a really powerful project management product that provides essentially one platform to strategize, to execute, and collaborate on any tasks within any project. And this can be from very basic projects to really complex portfolio management. So you can make the Monday projects as advanced as you require. So inside here, we can see we have set up different groups for our projects. So this is really useful to be able to evaluate our groups across the different projects that we're working on. So it's completely customizable to what you would want your groups to be. So inside here, we have our planning, execution, and launch stages. So we can move tasks around as we're working on those. So we have them in the right stage at the right time. And very useful within Monday projects is the dependency column. So it's very important that we are able to add dependencies onto our tasks. So if one task is delayed, we need to extend the date or deadline of the following tasks. So we can add dependencies into our tasks. And at this point, it'd be really useful if we go into the Gantt chart view, because within the Gantt chart view, what we can now do is if we move one of those tasks, if we extend the deadline, that can then automatically move all of those dependent tasks. It will do it automatically for you. So that is very useful for analyzing where our tasks are at for a deadline. If one is bottlenecked, it can automatically move the rest of the project. So that's going to save you an awful amount of time rather than having to manually amend all of those tasks. Dependencies gives you that control and flexibility inside our projects. Now that we've added the dependency column, what we can also do is we can add automations. So within our Monday projects, what we're able to do inside here is we can analyze, say, for example, one day before the deadline of a task, we may want to notify the owner if the status is not completed. So you can see how the automations and dependencies can start to streamline your projects. So as a project manager, we don't need to be completely on top of all of our team every single day. Automations gives us that flexibility and at time to focus on different areas while we're having complete control of our projects.
Just got a question, Sam, so I'll just jump in. Is there a calendar view on the multiple projects board? So there is. Let me add a view for you. So these are all the views that we can add. Workload's a really good one. If you want to do resourcing and see who's up to capacity, but we do have a calendar, and you can add a calendar to any board. And so and we can define what events look like in the calendar by changing the settings. So we're pulling in items from the timeline field and the completion date field. It might be we don't want the completion date field and we're just seeing a timeline. Now, so we're now seeing from the start to end. We can choose the groups that we're seeing. We can change things like the colors as well. But I could also remove that. If we have a couple of key dates that are actually the dates we want to see in the calendar, you can choose. So anything that's got a date on it can be displayed in a calendar view like this. And like with any calendars, you can then zoom that by month or zoom into week and day. And it works on the standard protocol. So you can sync events on this calendar with your mobile, with Outlook, with Gmail calendars to allow events you create inside Monday to ping over there, but also you can create an event on your external calendar and it will bring that into the Monday system.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing we can show here as well is within each task, if we just look at maybe task 2 underneath planning, we can see we can collaborate with all of the team on any task. So every single communication is focused on each individual task. So we can get rid of long email chains and having stand-up meetings. Everything can be managed inside your Monday projects operating system. And we can receive notifications on the actual application inside the browser here, and also on the mobile app and desktop. So we can keep up to date with any bottlenecks. If a task becomes stuck, we're going to see that information immediately, so we can get the tasks and projects back on track. Okay, so that's a look at an individual project here. And if we go into the actual portfolio dashboard, this then gives you that high-level view across all of the projects we're working on. And I think that the top view here, the overview, is really nice because it's analyzing every single task within the project. So we can see automatically here which tasks are at risk, which are based on what's actually falling behind, if we're behind deadline. And we can see project beta is on track, so we're happy with that. We need to be focusing on project alpha because we can see this project is at risk due to the number of tasks that are not completed by their deadlines. So we can now start analyzing our information inside here. And further down, we've got all of our Gantt chart views across all of our projects. And as Damien mentioned earlier on, we've got resource management. So in the final view within this particular dashboard, we're able to see all of our staff who have been allocated tasks. If we just scroll down below the Gantt chart view, we can see our resource management. So here we can essentially see the capacity of all of our teams. So this gives you that very high level view. So we know where we can actually allocate and maybe disperse resources to other people. So if Damien's free in a particular week, we can maybe allocate some of those tasks directly inside this view to Damien. So we can now start to make sure all of our team are working to their capacity levels and not over-resourced, so we can make sure projects are completed on time and all of our team are working to their maximum capacity levels. So you can see here from that very low level individual project to this very high level kind of global view, we're able to see all of the information across multiple projects. And as you can imagine, with the enterprise, we can have up to 60 boards connected into this dashboard view. So we're going to be able to pull really powerful information and data from across all of our projects, which will save you so much time across the business.
I've got another question. So how do project boards deal with task percentage complete and roll up? So you could roll up the status from a whole board, or you can have subtasks.
Yeah, subtasks would be useful.
Each subtask is going to have a status on here, and we can have working on it and done, and there we go. Show a summary column in your parent. So it's given me that suggestion. So that's what we're going to do. Go into settings and show summary and parent. So that's going to show us and we can close that down now, an indication of percentage of tasks done. We can see there that 66% are done. There's a couple of other tools that you can add to show progress, let me just jump into here and add in our, I think it's called progress tracking. There we go.
Yeah.
So same sort of thing. We can see progress, and we can define. Let's just pull that over here so we can see that. We can make that a little bit bigger, and we can configure what data we're using to pull into that. We've only got one status here. What this one works by using by a number of different. Let me just do this quickly. Let's duplicate that status and call that status 2. And we should be able to pull information in then from both of these. Let's do this. And so we can see here now, let me just go into, we see here that 50% of this item is complete. Let's just complete that. Let's complete that. And we can see then. So we're pulling in, let's minimize that a little bit. We're pulling in the data from both these status columns, and these status columns can represent different aspects of the task. So 2 ways really of showing a summary: either have a series of status columns and a progress, or have a sub items and show the summary up here as well. And then in addition to that, you can roll up whole boards into mirrored high level boards. Gets a bit more complex, but it's something you can set up in minutes, not hours.
Great. Okay, so that's a look at Monday projects. So what we'll finish off looking at the 4 core products here. We'll go into Monday Dev.
Just got another question, sorry, before I do that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So with the recommended limit being 60 projects, when you come to cycle projects, what would be the recommendations be? For example, we run the 45th projects per year. Come year 2, we would be above the 60 threshold. What would be the suggestion on that front? Well, we have a solution for that. So we have a a custom process built for Monday that allows you to delete projects based on predefined criteria. So let's say when it's let's say 30 days after the status is done, you can delete those connections as well. It is a custom app that we have available as a partner, which we built. If you get in touch with us afterwards, we can show you the app, and we provide all our applications free of charge, along with a support package. So you get, when you buy a support package, you get all that support and help from your customer success manager set up, and you get all these free applications as well that you can use. A whole load of other ones that we could go into on a separate call, but if you get in touch, we'll give you more details about that. Would you want to go on to the projects, Dev?
Yeah, Monday Dev, yeah, that's great. So this is really the 4 core products. So the Monday Dev product is a product built essentially for software development teams to collaborate together on product roadmaps. It can be sprints, release plans, and customer feedback, for example, while making sure everyone stays connected within the department at all times. So I think first of all, what we'll do is let's take a look inside the sprint management area. So what we can do within the Dev product is we can break down large projects into smaller, more manageable tasks, essentially. So we can set sprint goals with ease within the sprint management board. So you can see here, the groups are broken down into different sprints, and then we can see all of the tasks associated to each sprint inside the system. And from here, we can then create our different statuses, priority levels, the type of task this is, and who is responsible for this. So we're able to break down all of that information into very low-level, manageable chunks. And with this feature, what's really useful, obviously, we have task dependencies. So it could be one task inside the sprint is connected with another, which is a very common use case. So having those dependencies is really critical inside here. But I think what's really useful within the sprint management board is having the Kanban view that we've seen before in other products. But within here, this is really useful because then what we can do is we can prioritize. Then that's a key factor within sprint planning. The Kanban view promotes transparency really across all of the team members to see the state of every task at all times. And with the simple structure like Damien's showing here, it's really flexible. We can decide what information we show in the Kanban, and we can then actually update each task within this Kanban view. So it's really useful for prioritizing and deploying all of the tasks across those sprints. So that's a look at sprints, and there are lots of different views within here, but I think then what we'll do is move in to look at our epics. So we can also manage our epics within here. So we go into our roadmap board. Then what we can do is have a look at all of our epics. So this is slightly a higher view. So while we're working on all your sprints, we also want to be able to see the bigger picture, essentially. And that's what we're able to do within the roadmap view. So here we can see how all of our epics are progressing inside the roadmap. And we can see, again, we've broken the groups down into different quarters. Now, that may not be quite how you want to structure your roadmaps. Obviously, with the Monday Dev product, it's completely customizable. So if you wanted to actually change, rather than breaking into quarters, it may be actually even higher. Maybe it's years you want to break down those groups into. That can be completely customized for how you want to manage your development teams. So this centralized high-level board connects the important information from your sprint. So we can see all of the sprint tasks that are associated to this particular epic. So on the right-hand side of the board here, the sprint management column there, we can see all of the different tasks that are associated to those epics. So everything is connected from that low level to a very high level inside your system here. And I think what's nice to see here is the Gantt chart view. Because we're working at a very high level here, we're able to see all of the different tasks which are working to those different high level goals. And we can see what deadlines we have set across those different quarters for our epics. So that we can see how those different views really start to give us that information that we need for our roadmap. Okay, so let's look at epics, and we can also manage bugs, which is really important within any development work. So we can go into here, we have a dedicated board for managing all of our bugs and monitoring and resolving those bugs. So this is a great way to prioritize, essentially. Prioritize all of the bugs that occur when maybe a flaw occurs in the software. We can update the status. And I think what's really nice in here is we can record the amount of time that we're spending on any of those bugs. So this is really useful for reporting purposes. We want to be able to evaluate how much time our team are having to spend on these bugs and analyze that information. So from having that information recorded, we can then go into the bug insights view at the top here. And then we can start to see how this information actually is reportable. So I think what's a really nice view here is if we go to the bottom, we can see the resolution time for those bugs. So if we just scroll to the bottom of the dashboard here, we've got a very nice graph that we can show inside the system. So here we can see the amount of time across different months that we're having to spend on those bugs. So we can now start to analyze that information and pinpoint across that area why we're having to spend so much time across our bugs here. So you can see how these graphs can now start to interpret the information from the high level bugs board. Okay, and then we can analyze the information as well across different areas of our bug management tools. So we can maybe run automations inside here. So once a bug has been completed, it's been fixed, we could automatically move that to another area of the system. So we can get that out of one of our developers' task list automatically. So information is moved at the right time for each person inside the system. Okay, so that's a look at the Monday Dev products. So all of those products that we've mentioned today, so Monday Marketer, CRM, the projects and the dev, those can all be purchased on top of the Monday WorkOS system for you to use. And we can see how useful they can be across different use cases for your businesses. So different departments may use different products, and that's absolutely fine. They can be added to different people's accounts.
Thank you very much. Yes, so as we've said before, I think each of these products is fully customizable and can be, added straight from the templates. The benefit of using Monday.com across multiple departments is that as more teams become integrated, you get greater cross-team collaboration, and this contributes to stronger business performance and allows better visibility across the business. So let's have a look at integrations. Monday.com allows you to connect with all the tools you already use to have your team all working in the same place. We have dozens of pre-built integrations covering things like communication tools. So we have got Zoom, Slack, Teams, Gmail, Outlook, to name a few. Marketing tools, including LinkedIn, Facebook, MailChimp. We've got integration with Twilio if you want to use SMS. And obviously, you might want to integrate with some of your other platforms. We have integration with Salesforce, HubSpot, Zendesk, Jira, and many others. So let's see how easy it is to set up an integration with Zoom. So we have pre-built integration, and we have some Zoom integrations, recipes created here. And pass you on to Sam. We'll just talk through how we do this.
Sure. So I think what we can do here is if we just go back into the Monday CRM product.
Yeah.
And if we go into our activities board, I think this is where we can really start to see the power of the integration. So if we go into our integrations area, we can see we have a Zoom connection here. So if we just click on this item, what we're saying here is when we schedule a meeting on Zoom, so when we integrate our Zoom platform, we can then automatically create an item inside our activities board. So we can then see all of that information. So you're able to then keep track of all of the activities you're creating. You don't need to remember if you've had a Zoom meeting created at a certain time. You can populate all the information from the ID there, and that will then automatically add into the activities board inside the Monday CRM product here. So if we just close here, we'd see the activity inside the system here. So if we just stay on this board for a second, if I just go into here and save a new Zoom meeting, we should then now see we have now a new enterprise webinar, and we get the Zoom meeting ID directly inside there. So we don't need to even leave this area. We could automatically click on the link and it will open up the Zoom integration. So that shows you the power of the integrations. And as Damien mentioned, there are hundreds of different integrations that you can add to your Monday system to get even more power out of the solution.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're talking about here is having a single platform to manage, most, if not all, of your business. So that's an example of how you're not having to jump out into another system. There's your link straight inside your Monday board, and inside in context, so in the relevant area. So if you're talking about if your call's related to a particular deal, that link will populate in the deal item. So it's exactly where you expect it to be. The Enterprise Edition includes 250,000 integration actions per month. So you pay for your license. You don't pay for any of this integration. Those are included in the edition, in which edition you buy. There's limits on the packages. So on the smaller packages, the Pro, Standard and the Pro, there's a limit. On the Enterprise Edition, you can actually do up to 250,000 integration actions per month. So that was one that we saw there. So you can manage very big teams on here. So let's have a look at reporting. With all this information in one place, Monday.com becomes a single source of truth for your business. Let's have a look at how you can leverage all that data. I'll pass you back to Sam because she shows a dashboard.
Yes, I think if we go into the sales dashboard inside here, so we mentioned how we are building out our board. So within a dashboard, essentially, what we can do is we can connect multiple lower level boards into a reporting tool, essentially. So if we just go into the top of the board, we can see we've got one board connected in this particular dashboard. We can then add as many boards as you like into this reporting dashboard. So it could be, for example, if you're running lots of sales boards inside here, you want to bring all of that data together. You're in control as to what information you want to aggregate into this particular board. And you could have maybe several sales dashboards or as many dashboards as you require. And we can then use the widget feature. So if we click on the widgets, The widgets are the tools that you can use to create different types of reports. So it could be maybe a numbers report, or if you want to create a chart, we have the chart view to create different reports inside here. So you can see the plethora of different types of reports you can add into the system here. And what's really useful with the dashboard reporting is if we just close the widgets for a second here, on any of these charts here, we can drill down into the activity. So if we want to look at what's been lost here, we can see we've had one deal that was lost. We can drill down and we can click on the actual lost itself, and that will drill down into that data itself. So we can see what's been lost, and you can actually click into that deal itself to actually see all of the information about that particular deal. So with the dashboard, we can go from a very high level to a very low level in seconds. This is going to save you so much time as a manager, having to evaluate all of your departments and targets and goals. We're able to do that with a dashboard tool. And you can see the different types of dashboards here, from pie charts to goals to actual bar charts. There's lots of different ways you can interpret the data inside a dashboard. And really nice on the Enterprise Edition is we're able to schedule these dashboard reports. So these can be sent out to you automatically at specific time periods. So under the share button, what we can do is we can invite people and share the information out to others. So we could set with the Enterprise times where we want to send out that information. So that's a look at a dashboard. And we could also, on these reports, if you wanted to actually export the information as a PDF, we also have the capability to do that as well. So dashboards give you the ability to have that high level, really global view of all of the data within your lower level boards. And we find customers save hundreds of hours each month by having that analysis inside their Monday system. You don't, if you're using Excel sheets and trying to calculate things, the dashboard does all of that for you. So it saves you so much time and allows you to analyze your teams at a very quick glance.
Thank you very much. So let's have a look finally at permissions, security and compliance. So the enterprise feature, the enterprise edition, allows you to control who sees information inside your system. Mm-hmm. Businesses cannot afford to lose commercially sensitive information or contravene regulations governing protection of data. Monday is compliant with ISO regulations governing information security, HIPAA, SOC 1, 2, and 3, and GDPR. Tools to manage security at the user level include single sign-on, audit log, IP restrictions, and session time management. Let's just jump into the admin page quickly, and we'll have a quick look at these pages. So over on our screen, so we're looking at an enterprise edition. So with this edition, as I mentioned, we get these additional security features. So we get the single sign-on, we get IP restrictions. We get, really important, if you want to do any investigations, if you need to do investigations on for incidents that happen in your business, then an audit log of who's done what when within the system is very important, and that's available on the enterprise edition. We have HIPAA compliance for healthcare businesses, and we can also see a full activity of sessions. So I can see here a list by users and details of their actual session, and drill into that to find more detail on that session. If we just go down into our permissions, so the enterprise has advanced permission settings, which allow admins to configure permissions at the account level, by workspace, by individual item, and restrictions can be enabled to prevent users from adding and removing other users and exporting data from the system. So an essential feature really for any business. You don't want to allow your users to invite other users in who then download or delete data from within your system without having some sort of control over that. So let's just have a look. So I'm just going to show us how we can hide something at an item an item level. So this is a particular enterprise feature which is particularly useful so that you can hide particular pieces of data without and allow them to access, still allow them to access the board and interact with it, but hide key pieces of information.
Thanks, Damien. Yeah, so within your boards, you may have boards where you're inviting, for example, your customer, for example. And within here, what we may do, if we just go to the person column here, we can see the initiator. You may set that person who's responsible. It could be an external user, for example, a guest in the system. It could be your customer. And it could be you only want them to see the items here that they are responsible for. The other items may have other customers' information, for example. So it's really critical that we can set item level permissions so we're able to just have that user see the items they are responsible for. So if we go into the top right hand corner here where we have the settings, and if we go to board permissions, and then within here, we can see on viewing permissions, we have users can view all requests, but if we can change that there, as Damien shows there, we can have it so viewers can only see those items that they are responsible for. So they would only see the information that they have been made responsible for in that item view. So as you can see now, that has reduced. So it's really absolutely critical. If you're inviting in your customers, you don't want them to be able to see all areas of your information inside the board. So it's critical to have those item level permissions on the system.
So it's telling us that we've achieved this permission, but I'm an admin, so I get to see everything in this board. But if I was a standard user in the system, then those permissions would apply, and these items would not become visible to me.
We just had another question come in. So can you view boards across workspaces in a dashboard? So yes, absolutely. So if we could just go to a dashboard, Damien.
Let's have a look. Sales.
I think, at the bottom there, we've got sales team dashboard. So when we're talking about dashboards, we've mentioned how you can connect multiple boards. Those boards can come from different workspaces. It doesn't just have to come from the workspace that you are currently in. So if we just go to search at the top for the boards again, if we go into, we can see 3 boards are currently connected to this dashboard. Then we can search inside here, and you can then pull in boards from multiple workspaces. You're not restricted to those just inside this workspace. So yes, is the answer to your question. You can pull boards from multiple workspaces into a global dashboard, essentially.
Thank you very much. So that is it. We showed you how Monday can manage all areas of your business, from sales and marketing to operations, HR, customer support, and more. How Monday can integrate with all your existing tools and systems, become a single operating system for your business, and how Monday has permissions, security and compliance features that are essential for any business. Let's open it up to any questions. We've answered a few of those questions, but we've got some more in here. How do you read Excel sheets on Monday? Do you have to use Zapier? So reading a sheet, you could use Zapier. You could, or you can import from an Excel sheet into a board. But yeah, absolutely, you could do either of those. I don't think there's a direct integration, so I think you'd use Zapier or Make to do that. But as I say, you can import as well. Does the Enterprise Edition include single sign-on? It does, absolutely. A critical feature, really, I think, for a lot of businesses. Single sign-on only available on the Enterprise Edition of Monday.com. Is it possible to use Monday to manage freelancer projects and payments? So you certainly can. I mean, it's a good project management use case, and you can invite guest users and viewers in. Slightly different. Viewers can just see information, and they can't change anything. Guest users can interact, so pretty much very similar to how main users can. They can add things and delete things and add update items. So you can invite freelancers in. Of course, if you're critical really to be on the enterprise, if you're doing that, so that you can restrict which areas of the system they can get into. Again, those permissions are not, you're going to need those advanced permissions if you're inviting external people in, so you can control what they can see. You put payments there. I guess you can manage how and when, status of a payment. So if you just want to essentially a status to show whether they've been paid or not, if you want to integrate that, you could do that with your finance system as well. So when an invoice status is set to paid, then you could change the board automatically with an integration. I think it's quite an important thing, quite a good question, really. I think you don't want your operations people inside your finance package. Really, you want them to stay inside their Monday system and be able to see updates from that finance package inside Monday without having to phone accounts or check on a different system all in one place. So you would need depending on what finance system you've got, we've probably got an integration with it. If not, you can use something like Zapier to create that integration instantly, or we can build direct integration, which get in touch. We'll talk you through the best way of doing that. Will this recording be available afterwards? Yeah, we will send it out to everybody who's signed up. And on top of that, if we've not covered something you wanted to see, then just send us an email and we can have a one-to-one demo. We'll tailor that demo a bit to what exactly you want to see. And if it's a fact that you need just more in-depth help setting up, then we've got our support packages that we mentioned at the beginning. Get in touch and we can give you details of our support packages. We have many in-house systems. Is there a way to pull and push basic files such as text? Yeah. Such as txt files. So are you wanting to push those in so that you can then get data from another system? Absolutely. I mean, really anything's possible. That sounds like a bit of a technical question, and we'd need to consult with a developer. But if you're able to get in touch with us afterwards with the details, we'll set up a separate call. We'll get a developer on the call who will be able to talk you through the best way to do that. There's loads of different ways of pushing and pulling data, pushing data into the system, posting data out of the system. And yeah, absolutely. I think with a file, by posting a file to a location and then reading from that, it can be done. I mean, the simplest way is if you've got a webhook where you can post the information to a web page and we can read that from Monday automatically and pull it into a board, create a new item from it or whatever you want to do. But I'm sure there's always different ways of doing it. So get in touch with us and we will show you how to do that. So we don't have any more questions. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you found it useful. To show our appreciation, we're offering a free 1-hour consultation with a customer success manager. You can use this to help you setting up anything you need setting up or for any training. Just follow that link there to register, and no obligation, completely free hour support for you. Our contact details are also here too, so contact us if you are currently evaluating Monday and require a demo, or if you're an existing customer and you would like some help setting up and getting the maximum possible out of the system. So thank you very much. Bye for now.